Hey, welcome back to the Debt Sucks podcast. I'm Ben Matthews, consumer bankruptcy attorney, professional interpreter of financial chaos. And today we're going to talk about one of the most frustrating, confusing, quietly destructive feelings in this entire process. Doing everything right and still feeling like you're losing. You're running the plan. You're hitting the hammer. You're doing the check-ins. You're not ignoring your money anymore. Nothing is on fire. And yet your brain is sitting there like, yeah, but this doesn't feel like a win. That right there, that feeling kills more financial progress than almost anything I see. Not emergencies, not bad decisions. That slow creeping thought that says, if this were really working, wouldn't it feel better than this? And once that thought shows up, you don't quit dramatically. You don't blow everything up. You just ease off. A little less focused, a little less consistent, a little less engaged, until one day you look up and go, how did I get off track again? So today we're fixing that. We're going to talk about levels, how to actually know where you are while the middle of this journey feels so weird, and how to stop measuring your progress against perfection when consistency is the whole game. Let's get into it. Segment 1, the moment nobody talks about. Everybody talks about the beginning, the rock bottom moment, the wake-up call, the I am done with living like this moment. You know the one. You check your balances and feel slightly nauseous. You open your banking app like you're opening a horror movie. You do the math and you go, okay, this is not sustainable. And then something shifts. You get serious, you make a plan, you build the rock pile, you create the hammer, and start saying things like, I'm going to change my life. And for a while, you mean it. You are locked in, motivated, focused, slightly annoying to be around. There's content for that phase. Books about it, podcasts about it, Instagram posts with dramatic lighting and captions like, new chapter, new me. But here's the moment nobody makes content about. Month 14. Nothing is wrong. That's the problem. You're sitting there on a random Tuesday night. You've got your laptop open. You did your weekly check-in. You hit your hammer. The balance went down. And your brain goes, okay, but is this even working? Not because you failed, because it's boring. At this stage, paying off debt feels like doing laundry, taking the trash out, brushing your teeth. It's necessary, correct? It is not exciting. And your brain doesn't like that because your brain was expecting big wins, momentum, and emotional payoff. Instead, what you got is quiet, steady, almost invisible progress. And your brain interprets that as, this doesn't count. That's where people fall off. Not in a dramatic collapse, in a slow fade. The check-ins get skipped. The hammer gets inconsistent. The rock pile becomes something you know you should look at, but don't. Not because the plan failed, because it stopped feeling like a big deal. Segment 2, why goals quietly mess with your head. Let's talk about why this happens. Because it's not random. It's the way most people are taught to track progress. Most financial advice is goal-based. Pick a number, track the number, celebrate when you get close. And that works great at the beginning because everything is new. And at the end because the finish line is visible. But in the middle, oh, it's brutal. Example, let's say you've got $67,000 in debt, a $400 hammer. You're doing the work. You're consistent. You're showing up. Every month you check the number, and every month the number says, good job, still a lot of debt. Technically, you're winning. Psychologically, it feels like you're stuck. Because goals answer one question. How far do I have left? And in the middle of a long journey, the answer is always a lot. So your brain starts doing what brains do. This isn't working fast enough. Maybe I need a different plan. Maybe I should try something else. No. You don't need a new plan. You need a new way to measure progress. Because the problem isn't your execution, it's your perspective. Segment 3, the levels. So instead of asking how far do I have left, we asked, what level am I on? Because every level has different work, different expectations, and different emotional experiences. And once you know your level, stop feeling lost, You stop guessing. You stop comparing yourself to people who are playing a completely different stage of the game. So let's walk through them. Level 1, survival mode. I'm making it, mostly. This is chaos. Paying whatever's loudest, moving money around to survive, avoiding the numbers, hoping nothing unexpected happens. Emotionally, stress, exhaustion, low-grade panic, 3 a.m. math sessions that don't solve anything. See, this is where I meet a lot of people. And let me say this clearly. This is not a moral failure. Nobody teaches this stuff. Most people land here by default. The move out of level 1 is simple, but uncomfortable. Look. Brutally honest money breakdown, rot pile. No more guessing, no more avoidance. Because you cannot fix what you refuse to look at. Level 2, building stability. I have a plan, and it's working. This is where things change. Now you've got structure, a shit happens fund, the rot pile, hammer, level up money plan, weekly check-ins. The chaos is gone. You're in control. You're moving forward. And then month 14 shows up. And your brain says, this doesn't feel like winning. So let me say this as clearly as I can. This is winning. This is where most of the debt gets paid. Most of the habits get built. Most of the transformation happens. Not in the beginning, not at the end, right here in the middle. The trap? Slow drift. You don't quit. You just skip a check-in, delay a payment, stop tracking as closely. And that drift compounds. The fix, recognize the level, and accept the truth. Winning at level 2 feels boring. Level 3, gaining ground. I can see the other side. Now things shift. The pressure drops. The numbers look different. You've got breathing room. And something new shows up. Confidence. Not loud confidence. Not performative confidence. Quiet confidence. You've done this long enough to know I can handle this. The trap? Lifestyle creep. Because now you've got margin and your brain says, well, we could upgrade a little. And just like that, the old patterns try to come back. The fix? Decide in advance where your money goes. Level 4, building wealth. I'm building something that lasts. Now the game flips. You're not just fixing, you're building. Your debt is mostly gone. Emergency fund is solid. Investments consistent. And here's the surprising part. It's quiet. No stress, no drama, just stability. The trap? Complacency. Because everything is working, you stop paying attention. Level 5, financial freedom. My time is mine. This is what people think they're chasing. But it's not about a number. It's about control over your life. You don't have to work. You choose to work. That's a completely different experience. So here's the Debt Sucks quiz. What level are you on? Quick gut check. No spreadsheets, no lying to yourself. Pick the answer that's true right now. So number 1, when a $1,000 expense hits, A, panic, credit card. B, stressful, but I adjust. C, covered, just annoying. D, easy, no disruption. And E, doesn't matter at all. Number 2, how often do you check your money? A, avoid it. B, occasionally. C, weekly check-ins. D, regular plus long-term planning. And E, mostly automated. 3, your debt situation. A, juggling it. B, working a plan. C, clearly going down. D, mostly gone. And E, not a factor. Number 4, how does money feel daily? A, stressful. B, better. C, mostly calm. D, predictable. E, irrelevant. 5, when life gets messy. A, everything falls apart. B, I slip and recover. C, the system holds, mostly. D, barely affected. And E, no impact. So your results, mostly A's are level 1, survival mode. Mostly B's, level 2, building stability. Mostly C's, level 3, gaining ground. Mostly D's, level 4, building wealth. Mostly E's, level 5, financial freedom. At level 1, you need visibility. Stop guessing, start looking. Level 2, you're winning. It just feels boring, so don't drift. Level 3, you've got some momentum, so watch your lifestyle creep. Level 4, the systems are working. You need to stay engaged. And level 5, you've got control. Now decide what it's for. Wherever you landed, that's your level. Not where you want to be, not where you used to be, where you actually are. And that's where you win from. Segment 4, the 80% rule. Let me give you something that will completely change how you think about how this works. 80% consistency beats 100% intensity every time. For example, $400 hammer for 8 perfect months and 4 months of zero is $3,200. But a $300 hammer at 80% consistency for a full year, you get to miss a month or two, but get right back on track. About $2,900. Less impressive, but more effective. Wait, how? Because the second plan is still alive. The first plan, it broke. And when a plan breaks, it doesn't just pause. It usually comes with lost momentum, rebuilding time, more debt creeping back in, mental fatigue from starting over again. So that 3,200 doesn't stay 3,200. It gets diluted by resets, delays, and drift. The $2,900 plan, it keeps going. No restart, no drama, no I'll get back to it next month. Just steady pressure, and steady pressure over time wins. Because this game is not about can you be perfect, it's about can you stay in the game long enough to win. Your plan should survive hard months, busy months, real life, not just your best version of yourself. And speaking of the hammer, this question came in recently. Hey Ben, I'm just getting started and I keep hearing you talk about the hammer. I get that it's extra money to throw at debt, but I don't feel like I have extra money. So where do you actually find your hammer and how do you use it without making life miserable? Hey, that's a great question because this is exactly where a lot of people get stuck. First, let's clear this up. The hammer is not money that you magically have. If that were the case, nobody would have debt. The hammer is money you create. Most hammers come from 3 places. Number 1, leaks, the quiet stuff. This is the money that doesn't feel like a big deal but adds up fast. Eating out more than you realize. Subscriptions you forgot about. Convenient spending. You don't think you have extra money, but you've got $10 here, $20 there, $40 just dinner. That's your first hammer. 2, decisions, intentional trade-offs. And this is where you say, I'm redirecting this on purpose. Not forever, just for now. So maybe fewer meals out, pausing something you don't need, saying no to upgrades. That's not deprivation, that's buying your way out of debt faster. And number 3 is expansion, earning more. Sometimes the hammer comes from extra hours, side work, or selling something. Not forever, just long enough to build momentum. Start smaller than you think. This is where people mess up. They try to go big. I'm doing $800 a month. No, you're not consistently. Start with something that holds, $75, $100, $150, because consistency beats intensity every time. Make it livable. If your plan makes your life miserable, you won't stick with it. Your hammer should feel focused, intentional, and slightly uncomfortable, but not extreme, not punishing, not impossible. Hey, and thanks for that question. Well, let's get back. Segment 5. Setbacks don't reset your level. See, this is critical because people get this wrong all the time. Something happens, an emergency, your income drops, plan disruption, and your brain says, I'm back at square one. No, you're not. A setback does not erase your level. If you were at level 2, you're still at level 2. You still have the structure, the awareness, the experience, the habits. What you have is a disruption, not a reset. And that matters because resuming at level 2 is faster, easier, and way less overwhelming than starting at level 1. Hey, let's get real for a sec. The Debt Sucks plan, it's awesome. It works. But not everyone has the time or the patience to chip away at their financial Mount Everest. Maybe you're drowning right now, like creditors calling your grandma, paycheck gone before it lands, sleepless nights counted drowning. Sound familiar? Listen, You don't have to white knuckle your way through this alone. Instead of spending years battling debt $1 at a time, I've got you. Bankruptcy isn't a failure, it's a fresh start. And sometimes hitting reset is the smartest thing you can do. At my law firm here in South Carolina, we take the time to listen to your story and help you figure out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you. No pressure, no judgment, just straight answers and real solutions. And if you don't live in South Carolina, don't worry. I can connect you with a trusted attorney in your state. Wherever you are, help is closer than you think. So if you're ready to stop the stress and start fresh, visit debtsucks.info to share a little about your situation or call my office for a free consultation. Let's find your path forward together, because sometimes you don't need a plan, you need a damn lifeline. Let me be that lifeline. This game is not won by perfection. It's won by sustainability. The plan that works is the one you can keep doing through good months, bad months, real life. So here's your move this week. Write one paragraph, just one. What level are you actually on? What's working? What's hard? What's next? Look at it again in 90 days, because the map only works if you know where you are. Adulting is hard. Debt makes it harder. But trying to be perfect, that's what keeps you stuck. Know your level, play your level, win your level. And I'll see you next week.